We're editing these videos on a Z workstations because we'd have to be crazy not to. Dual Xeons, and they've got more options when you compare it to HP's workstation stuff. Like you can get the GTX line of graphics cards, can't get it on HP. Also, it's less expensive. Why? I don't know, it just is. And if you want to configure it, it's easier to do and it's easier to pay. So use Z workstations, all right guys? Plus, thanks to ASRock, we've got an Intel video and an AMD video. Links are in the description. Check it all out right now or I'll eat your sandwiches. All of them. EK has gone back to their roots while also moving into some new territory. So their CEO, Eddie, he's back and he sat down with everybody and he's like, listen guys, sky's the limit, come up with anything and let's just start making some awesome stuff. So in this video, they've got some new server stuff. They've got some new all-in-one loops. They've got a new whole slew of stuff in their budget line. And they've got some static pressure fans and also some custom wood stuff. Let's just check it all out. So this is a beautiful case mod. Just highlighting some of the stuff you're going to see, like that pump down there, and like that block right there, and like that reservoir right there. But yeah, right here, let there be light. All right, see that? That is UV printed. That backplate is UV printed, and the cool thing about the UV printing is they can do it even if there's like some bumps or if it's not a flat surface, they can do it. Looks really interesting, and you know they even said you could come up with your own designs, put your logo on there or whatever. So that's really cool. Over here they're showing off, it's not really on right now, but this is a liquid, well I guess a liquid immersion cooled machine. So we got your Threadripper under there, and what's interesting here is it's a much smaller container. So the liquid's going to get pretty warm with all these graphics cards and that Threadripper in there. So what they've done to keep everything small, because most of these liquid things are just massive tanks, so they have this up here, everything evaporates, and this is cooling all the stuff down here. But that's going to get a little warm. So they actually have looped in another water cooling unit. So this water cooling unit is cooling this water cooling unit that is cooling this liquid immersion cooled PC. That's pretty ridiculous. Kind of cool though.
Inception.
Coolingception. Somebody's just in the way right now. All right, how about a little love for 1U and 2U machines? This is a dual Xeon machine featuring Intel's LGA 3047 socket. And what they've done here is they've got two different blocks, and they've got them in a couple different configurations. You can get them this way, or you can get them configured that way so that they'll fit some different motherboards and that sort of thing. But this is going to be really handy in a server that just has stuff going on all day. It's always processing. Maybe you're dumping something here for a render. Maybe you've just got a really busy file server or something like that. And then it's going to be a little bit cooler and a little bit quieter and just allow you to run stuff all day long. Now next up, guys, you're going to want to buy some stock in EK, because these little blocks right here, they may look just like regular graphics card blocks, but these are specifically designed to be installed in cars. So cars, they need a lot of processing power, especially when you're talking about self-driving cars, all the artificial intelligence involved. And so they're going to have GPUs installed. They're going to be using Volta. Now, some of these are going to be MXM, and some of them are going to be just full-size graphics cards. And this is all stuff that needs to be cooled. So EK has been working to try to create blocks that are going to work in the car, reduce vibrations, and just basically cool that GPU in the car. If this becomes standard as far as like self-driving cars go, buy stock in EK. All right, last bit of workstation stuff we're going to take a look at. Now, this is what water cooling looks like when aesthetics don't really matter. They just want to be efficient. And also, let's say you're running, a bunch of, this has got like a whole bunch of Titan V's in the system. You're running a whole bunch of, just running a whole bunch of workstation graphics cards. Now, let's say, this graphics card goes bad. So all you have to do is just come over here and unhook that one. You don't have to flush the entire system. Just pop that one off, replace it, and then pop it right back on. Really easy. So you guys can see there's also a reservoir right here. It's not the prettiest reservoir, just hanging out right there. The pump is down here, but this is only like the first version. The next version, the pump will be integrated into the reservoir, and then you guys will be able to cool your entire workstation with something that's really efficient, because I guess RGB and style doesn't matter. You don't need the straight tubes going through all of these. Each one hooks up separately, and that's really smart. Okay, so they say that this is like buying a sports car, but I wouldn't know. I've been waiting on that for like an hour. So check this action out right here. This is all custom wood. So Eddie used to, or I guess he still does. He's does some woodwork, and this is the PC that goes into his living room right here. The idea is, you've got clientele, you're a professional, you're a doctor or something like that, and you want to maintain a certain aesthetic and have a really clean looking PC. You can have a bunch of RGB and that sort of thing. Well, the experience that they've put together here is pretty unique. You will contact them through a special webpage, just like buying a sports car. You will be hooked up with an engineer who will, in turn, listen to your ideas and then come up with some 3D models, send those back to you. They even have fittings with wood. They've got lots of different types. They've got Slovenian walnut. I believe that one right there is just, it's not dark walnut, it's Paduk. Is that how you say it? Yeah. Over here. They said they can even do carbon fiber and marble, straight to gold. God, Donald Trump was leather, yeah, leather. But anyway, they can create these, custom wooden blocks for you, really sleek and clean. Check that action out. It's just basically the wood goes right on top of the regular block. Got the aluminum and stuff underneath there.
And they can fully customize it with logos.
Yeah, logos, whatever. So that's the CEO's name as the logo. So whatever you like, guys, just contact them. And the price range probably $300 to $400, but it's a custom experience, and it's not going to be for everyone. It's very, very select clientele, discerning clientele. Vardar fans, guys, these are the best performing static pressure fans on I guess radiators that there is. That's pretty much it. And now we've got the RGB versions, and these are have a bunch of individually addressable RGBs, and this will work with all the different motherboards out there. Now these are the regular ones, right? Check these out. These actually have rubber around the sides. Here's one you guys can take a look at. Now this rubber around the side is great because it's going to create a seal and give you even better static pressure on your radiator. So the best fans now come in RGB and are even better. It's rare to see style and function in one, but you kind of get that here. Inwin's their key partner. Give me some light on the inside of this thing. This is just showing off, showing off how it looks on the inside there with Inwin and EK together, because it kind of makes sense for these two to go together. They both have the same sort of beautiful, minimal, yet very functional design philosophy. So, natural match. There you go. You can see some of their just Inwin products together there. Really cool. EK Cryo Fuel Solid. So, I want to note something here, guys. This has been sitting here for a while, for a long while. And take a look. Take a look at the colors. There is no sediment on the bottom. Nothing is settling anywhere. Look at that action right there. It is completely clean. So they had this ready last year, but they wanted to test it more. The whole thing is with a lot of this stuff, it starts to build up sediment. You start to get a darker color. I know you guys have seen some mods where the bottom down here will be darker than the top because there's some stuff starting to settle and that sort of thing. They've been using these for a year. They've got several modders who have been just using them and using them and using them the entire year, and it's been just as well as distilled water. They even say that in your hand it feels like distilled water. So that's, I don't know what witchcraft.
Here all week.
Yeah, it's been here sitting here all week, just sitting here. I have no idea what witchcraft is going on in there. All right, let's take a look at the Hydra Series. Now there it is, that RGB static pressure fan. Beautiful on there. Now this is going to be part of their just fluid gaming series, and these are lower cost but still really high performance. Now this is an all-in-one cooling unit, and it's going to get you in the game. It's going to give you the RGB with the static pressure fans, and you have a block here. I'm going to take a look at this block. Got the copper on the bottom. Just improvements all the way around for everything. Let's take a look at the custom series. Now this is going to be for somebody who does not want to spend a gazillion dollars but wants to be able to get into the custom game. Now you've got all the different blocks here, RGB going on these new blocks, and one of the biggest additions here, we've got the older blocks over there, but one of the biggest additions here is now we have fittings for hard tubing. You guys can get into a hard tubing system and not break the bank. It's not going to be quite as performant as some of the ones, some of the copper ones out there, a few degrees warmer, but if you're really looking for that aesthetic, looking for that hard tubing aesthetic, you guys can get into that and build a system for under $400 that has an entire hard loop system. That's really cool. Now we're getting into the big stuff here. This is the Velocity series. These are beautiful, large copper base right there. Just very subtle changes here. RGB's looking really good, but it's still extremely functional. This is substantial, guys. The Velocity is substantial. God, that thing is heavy. Ridiculously heavy. Now I also want to mention, take a look at the edges here. They're no longer flat. They now have, they've attention to detail. They're curved right there on the edges. They're curving things around, and that's just going to help hide things. So this is the thread ripper right there. This thread ripper, this is the STR4. So this guy is really subtle. They've got the RGB around the edge instead of all over the middle. You guys can get it like that if you wanted to, but if you want to go for something more subtle, there you go. Now you can see the thread ripper, that's just a ginormous socket, right? But all the way around the sides here, it's bent, and it's keeping everything nice and covered so it looks sleek and clean while also keeping things super cool. What is the name of this one? I don't see a name for this one.
This
But
one, it's still just, it doesn't have a true code name yet,
Yeah.
but it's a premium all-in-one unit. So we're really, really excited because it features all of our best components. The Velocity CPU block that you can see on display there, which is kind of the successor of the Supremacy,
Right.
which is probably the most recognized water block in the industry.
Yep, and you guys are getting it as an all-in-one.
As an all-in-one, it does feature our new fitting design, and they're G1/4 threads. So if someone wants to drain it, take it out, expand on it, anything is possible with it. We don't want to limit what you can do as an individual with
Right.
it. So we're really excited to see kind of what you guys make and
Now
the
this.
crazy things people do.
You said that all the cords are going to be internal, but can you pop that
Yes.
off for me? My
Yeah.
hands are full right now, but this is going to, I'm telling you, this is going to really mess up the industry because this is a full-size pump.
It is.
This is
yeah.
like the pump that you would get in if
That's
you were
actually
building
the
a
pump
custom.
we use in our kits.
That's it, right
Yeah.
there, and it's part of an all-in-one.
Absolutely.
So that you guys are going to make all the other all-in-one companies scratch their heads and go like, oh, what the hell are we going to do?
Well, things have been the same for so long, man.
Yeah,
At the
it's
end
time
of the
to
day,
shake it
we
up.
need to do what's best for the customer. If you're overclocking, if you just want something different, and this pump is very strong. So, like I said earlier, if you want to expand off of this, it's not like
Mm-hmm.
a normal all-in-one pump that's really small. This is enough to drive like 2 graphics cards,
Right.
another radiator. Like you can run a full system with this pump and have no issues
Right.
whatsoever.
So you could just grab this as a starting kit and then just pop these off right there,
Yeah.
and
Well,
you know,
actually, there's a drain on the bottom.
you got a drain right there too.
Yeah, that way you don't pop it off and make a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own, you know.
Drain it first. I mean, or you can hang out in the bathtub and unscrew things. It doesn't matter, right? I always build my computers in the bathtub. What? Check out this monoblock right here. So a lot of people love the monoblock. I like the monoblock. This one's got the little Strix logo there, but it doesn't have to. I mean, you can get whatever. So this monoblock, basically, the idea is that it's going to also cool your VREGs up there, and there's your CPU going to be right there. And just you have to go onto the motherboard and unscrew some of the stuff that's right there, like unscrew some of this stuff around here on the motherboard, and then you'll be able to get that giant monoblock on there. Next up, let's check out the new wave, the full cover. So this is just a full cover GPU cooling unit. Got the tube spots right there where they can go right through there. So yeah, you can right there if you can see it. Got a little RGB coming up on top right there. Yeah, I can see it. So you get a little RGB accent right there. Otherwise, very sleek. And you guys can get it this way if you want it to be really sleek. There you go. Pretty. All right, so over here we have the RGB crazy version with some acrylic right there so you can see through it. So you guys pick which one is going to match your style. But really the theme here for the entire booth has been extreme functionality with very sleek style. They've sort of had to, they didn't want to go full gamer because that's goofy, and you have to like be able to mix professional with the little style and the functionality. And I think they've done a good job, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see you guys there.